Are you ready, Ninjababe? Ready to face your fears, to ignite your passions and break through your limitations? Are you ready to get out of your comfort zone and go after your dreams with unstoppable force? It's happening here on the Ninjababes podcast, the place where women spill it all about self-confidence, courage, and body image. This is where we show our strength. This is the sisterhood where girls gather to empower themselves and each other. Get ready to get rocked, because this is where you come to be encouraged and be transformed in order to live out your full potential. Be proud of yourself, Ninjababe. Now let's get after it. Hey, Ninjababes. Welcome to the Ninjababes podcast. Today I'm here with Allison Greff.
Hey.
Hello. Hey, we might all be in quarantine, but we can still have a podcast recording.
Still here together.
Yes. It's actually really nice too, because this is total side note, but the platform that I record on, Zencastr, they actually opened up their platform so that anyone who's a podcaster can have like unlimited time instead of like sometimes we have to pay for credits how much time we record per month, but they just opened it up for unlimited, which is just so nice and generous, because they're like, yeah, go make all the podcasts since everyone's stuck at home.
No kidding. It helps everybody, and like they're so bored all the time. We actually have something to do, listen to a podcast.
Yep. I appreciate like everything that businesses are doing to like help people out, like special hours for like elderly people to shop at the stores. I know they're doing that here in Jersey and New York, but like everything, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, people really are going above and beyond with their businesses and stuff to keep us as happy and healthy as they can.
Yeah. Allison, where are you from?
I'm from Canton, Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously we're like in this weird corona state all over, but
we are. Yeah. We are in full quarantine here.
Fun times. What are you doing to stay busy and not feel like sad?
Man, it's been crazy. It's been a whirlwind of emotions the last week or so. I am still in school right now, and so my school went from being, you're in the classroom all the time to we're going to move part of it online and part of it in the classroom, and now it's fully online. So it's still keeping me super busy though.
Yeah, definitely. What is your major? Like, is it easy to do online or is it challenging?
It's super challenging. I'm trying to become an EMT right now, so an emergency medical technician. And a lot of what we have to do is we have to train for, real life scenarios and do a lot of hands-on work. And so having to be stuck at home, the only thing that we can do online is simply our lectures. And so we're trying to figure out if we can get our lectures done now, and hopefully the quarantine will be over soon so that we can go ahead and begin our labs and our clinicals and stuff.
Yeah, because that's definitely tough to do. It's like, hey, Mom, can I practice on you again?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, let me take your blood pressure. Can I check your vitals? Oh, I did this 20 minutes ago, but got to do it again.
Oh, man. One of my old roommates, she was going to school for occupational therapy, and she would always practice stuff on me. But being an athlete, I was always like, yeah, stretch out my arm, like do this or that. Like, I always wanted her to practice on me.
That would be so nice. See, all I can do is make sure that your blood pressure's okay.
Well, at least you'll make sure people aren't getting sick in your house. So.
That's true. Yeah, we're trying to stay quarantined the best we can.
Yeah. Well, I keep like encouraging people to just, do things that feel constructive, because I know it can feel really hard when things feel very out of your control and you don't know what to expect. You don't know like what you can do. So even finding simple ways that you can be in control, even if it's just of your household, like, I don't know, cleaning or like reorganizing a closet or like setting a schedule for you and your family, like whatever it is to help people feel like sane and like they can control something, I think is really good.
Yeah, completely. I think just trying to keep yourself busy with whatever you have at home, whether it's, making a meal every night for yourself, even though you don't normally do that, or doing home workouts. I mean, whatever it is, like just keeping busy will help the time go by faster and keep you sort of sane in this craziness.
Yeah, we're going to get through this.
We are. We're going to come out stronger on the other side.
Absolutely. So, Allison, what is your involvement with Ninja? Like, how long have you been involved with Ninja? And I know we just saw you compete. We'll get into that in a little bit, but where did you get started with Ninja?
So I got started with Ninja about 2.5 years ago. When I first kind of saw Ninja, and I had watched the TV show a couple times, but it wasn't really on my radar. I just had a lot of people that were kind of in my circle, that said, you would be so good at this. You really need to check it out and see if you can find a gym around you. And I kept thinking, maybe sometime I will, but I'm always super busy. And so finally I just said, all right, I got to find a gym. So, I did that Google search really quick, and I found a gym, Grips Gym in Southfield, and I went to check it out, and I fell in love with the sport like that night when I went to check out Open Gym. It was absolutely amazing. And I've been training with some really cool people there. And 2.5 years later, and I still love the sport.
That's good. I'm glad that you're still with us. What do you feel like is one of the reasons that you just kind of like really loved it and stuck with it all this time?
So I've always been super athletic. Through high school, I played basketball and volleyball. I used to be a runner. I'm not so much anymore. But I just love being active. And as I got out of high school and I went to college, but I didn't stay in college for super long. I just recently went back. It's hard to find a sport, like a rec league or something. And so I bounced around between a few rec leagues playing, ultimate frisbee and things like that, but nothing really stuck, and nothing is all year round. And so I just was like looking for something that I could do all the time that would keep me in shape, that would constantly give me challenges and things like that. And Ninja really does that. I mean, it's all year round. You can train all the time. And just the people that are there are so fun to get to know and hang out with. And it's just a great sport.
Definitely. So this past National Ninja League World Championship, you competed. Was this your first year competing at NNL?
This was my second year.
Okay.
Yeah, I competed 2 years ago and did not do as well at finals.
Okay. Well, 2 years ago, you would have been pretty fresh, right?
Yeah. It was pretty early on in my ninja career.
Okay. And then this year, how did you do?
I did really well this year. I got 4th place at finals. We had the skills competition as well. I actually don't even know what I placed for that, maybe like 22nd or so. But that was kind of separated from the actual course run. So on the course runs, I got 4th place.
That's awesome. So adult pro overall came in 4th. Congratulations. It's amazing.
Thank you. It was a huge year. I mean, it was just amazing. The whole weekend was so awesome.
Yeah. Were you expecting to do so well? Or like, what were you thinking?
Not at all. I mean, it was so crazy. Like I was in, I think the last wave of stage 1 to run. And so just seeing, female after female after female go through, and they're falling in the same places. And you're just thinking to yourself, like, how can I get through this one obstacle? Like it doesn't even matter what place you come in at that point. You just want to get past the obstacle. That's the ninja killer. And so you just kind of working through it all. And then to have that moment where you actually get past that obstacle was like the most amazing feeling ever.
Yeah. So tell us more about your run. Like, where did you actually fall? What was challenging, or like, what were you hoping to get to on the course?
So this year was really interesting. It was, every year you always have a speed course in stage 1, but the difference from last year and this year was that the course time was so short. I mean, you had to fly through this thing if you wanted to finish it. And so basically the first, I think 3 obstacles was about as far as the women were getting. Most people had not passed the 4th obstacle. And so the biggest goal was to get past the 4th obstacle. And it was just a kind of a crazy transition from spinning barrel to spinning barrel. And if you tried to grip it any way but switch grip, you weren't going to make the grab or anything. But the barrels were really big too. So for the women to get their arms around it was a really big challenge. So my goal was to get the switch grip. I had played it through my head so many times. I had thought to myself, when I'm swinging, I'm going to do the 180 in the air. I'm going to catch it this way and then move on from there. And so sure enough, during my course run, I did end up catching it the exact way that I wanted to. I took a couple extra swings on it at that point. I did see the clock. I saw that I had 9 seconds left when I caught it. Once I was able to get off that obstacle, I finished the next obstacle, and then my time ran out there. So it was an awesome experience. I wish that I had had a little bit more time to try out some more of the obstacles, but overall it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that, you said you had a plan for how you wanted to catch it and you were able to execute that. Do you feel like that's a big part of how you go after courses? Like you try to visualize and come up with a strategy?
I would say more recently this year, that was something that I kind of picked up on my first year of Ninja. It was just sort of, just try and get as far as you can, but I never really walk the course in my head. I just sort of went for it. And this year I really tried to take some time before I ran a course to look it over and see the best way of doing something or switching something up from a way that someone else did it. Just really walking through it in my head. And I found that that really helps me a lot because I can come up with maybe a couple different game plans, bounce them off some of my friends, and then figure out exactly what I need to do to get through a course. So this year, it definitely played a huge part into that.
That's cool to hear. I like when things that we actually try to do in training really pay off in the long run. Because sometimes it's like, yeah, you try,
Seriously.
yeah, sometimes you try to strategize, you try to visualize and like be calm before you execute the course and all that stuff. And sometimes you feel like, why that just didn't even work. But I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
I think the more that we implement those strategies, like the more that they will pay off and they will work. But it can be like trial and error in the beginning.
Absolutely.
That's cool to hear. Tell me about your interaction, like with your training partners, your friends. Like, the people that you train with, do you tend to like pump each other up before the course or like strategize together?
There are several people in my gym that I've been going there with them for a while now. And when we hang out at the gym, we just have a good time. But when it comes to competitions, there's a couple people in particular that I will go to. And we usually talk through the course together, whether they're competing or not, like we're all there. And it's just really good to talk through it with them, mostly because the people that I hang out with at my gym, they're not in the same age group that I'm in. They're not like at the same level or whatever. And so like there's no competition there. We're not against each other. We're just simply against the course and we're trying to help each other out. And so it really helps to bounce things off of them because they can come back and go, yeah, that's not going to work. Or they can, say, oh, I didn't even think about doing that. And then they can kind of switch it for themselves as well. So it just helps to bounce it off of people that are there. And like I said, I have a couple really good friends at the gym and going to competitions together is my favorite.
That's cool. What do you feel like is your best advice to other ninjas who are trying to get better at competing?
Honestly, just keep at it. When you go to competitions, the more that you do, the better off mentally I think that you are. My first couple competitions, I was terrified out of my mind. And then I did one pretty big competition at Rockford Ninja Warrior. It was 2 years ago in Grand Rapids. And it was so scary to be up there with a bunch of the pro ninjas. And it like terrified me. But every single competition that was a local one after that was not nearly as terrifying because you weren't up against like the big pros and everything. It was just like having fun. The other thing that I think is really important when it comes to this sport is consistency. Like if you can't make it to the gym this week, at least do some stuff at home, but don't just stop working out for the week. It's really important to keep up your grip strength and keep up your upper body strength and stuff like that. Don't let that just stop because you can't go to the gym.
That's great advice. Do you feel like you did anything differently as you prepared specifically for Worlds, whether physically or mentally?
I think mentally I prepared a little bit more for Worlds after having not done very well the year before. It was kind of a lot to think about, getting your hotel room and your flights and all of that stuff. And it was especially hard this year being in school and figuring out if I was going to be free that weekend or not. And so I think this time I mentally prepared for it a lot better than I did the year before. But it really is just mentally preparing for something like that it can be hard, it can be challenging, but physically preparing for it, I think is a lot easier. It's, I'm still going to the gym and stuff. I am terrible with my diet, so I really should have changed something in there, but I didn't. That's something that I probably should work on, but it's like my biggest downfall is my diet. So that I did not change. And it's hard when you're going to something like that in Worlds, like you have to get a hotel room and you don't necessarily have a fridge there. And so you can't bring all your own food. So you eat out a lot. And so I think your diet is probably like the hardest thing that you have to prepare when you're doing a big competition that's away from home. But yeah, when you're mentally preparing for this sort of thing, it can be hard to do it from the weeks coming out. But part of mentally preparing is like getting your focus to where you know exactly when you're going to go to practices and when you're going to hit your gym time and you're trying to get as much sleep as you can. And so just kind of building up to finals and big competitions, it's just good to have a schedule in mind,
Yeah, I could not agree more, especially the whole schedule thing, because I noticed for me when I had gotten injured and then I still am, but I was going through all of my months of PT. I was following a really strict schedule because, I went to PT Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That never changed. And even my work schedule was a little bit more consistent. And that was honestly one of the first times in my life since college that I was following any sort of a schedule, because I work as a freelancer. I do work from home. And so I noticed such like a difference in my strength, in the way that I was progressing in my strength. I feel like it made a huge difference for my recovery to have like such a strict schedule. And I was always eating at like similar times. And all of that I feel like has helped so much, just consistency in my mindset, consistency in, my strength gains and all of that. But I think I don't know if this is true for everyone, but I think a lot of ninjas are a little bit all over the place when it comes to, working and training and how they eat and how they do this or that. And I think a lot of times we're like all or nothing when it comes to ninja training.
Right. No, I completely agree with that. We're all over the place when it comes to anything like that.
Yeah.
It can be hard to fit it in your adult life, and
Totally.
And yeah, I totally get that.
Especially if you add in kids, or you add in like a college career or whatever it is, it just gets more and more complicated. And
it really does.
Yeah. And we all try to do a lot. So I think any amount of scheduling or just consistency or any sort of routine that people can implement is really helpful. And especially right now, like Corona and everything that's going on, like don't be afraid to like go after your routines while you're at home. This shouldn't be a time that we just like throw everything to the wayside. Like for some people, yeah, they're not working and things are really stressful, but I think it can also be a really neat opportunity for people to like take advantage of their time at home and like set up a little fun routine of like how you'd like to be handling your day, and try to like take your mind off of the stress for a little while.
For sure. I think that the routines are what are going to get us through this, when we're trying to actually get things done. Because as soon as you don't have a routine, you don't want to do anything. If you have a routine and you have a plan for the day, you're probably going to stick to it better than just, oh, here's some things I need to get done, but probably not going to do it. When you set that time to work out and you set that time, that you're going to do your meals or whatever it is, like it can really help.
Definitely. I know me and Angela Gargano have been doing some live workouts online, hosted from the Ninjababes Instagram and also from Facebook Live. So we'll be putting links in the show notes of the podcast for those as well. But I know like we're doing these workouts. Other people are putting on live workouts online, and a lot of them are scheduled. So it's like, hey, plan for this Saturday at 11 a.m. and join us in your living room. So I think a lot of people are doing a bunch of cool things to really try to support each other and just deal with this time the best we can, and just like be there for one another how we can.
It really is cool how many people are kind of coming together to not only, put these things together, but also just to put them together to entertain those who are stuck at home, like all across the country, we're trying to do stuff to help each other out. It's just really cool to see.
Definitely. Hello from social distancing. I'm glad that everyone can still enjoy the Ninjababes podcast from wherever you are. Don't forget, if you have a friend who's never listened, send them an episode, whatever episode has meant the most to you. Send it over to them, spread the love, and give people something great to do while they're stuck at home. It is true, unfortunately, that our upcoming Ninjababes workshop event at Center Court in Lawrence is canceled, or I should say postponed, due to everything that's going on, as you probably could have imagined. But hey, listen, we're all in the same boat. I know a lot of us have lost jobs or have lost a lot of hours because of what's going on. Some of us just feel really stressed out or worried or just don't know how to handle the situation at hand. But ninjas, like all things, we will stick together. Know that we're in this together. If you're feeling really stressed out or anxious, please feel free to DM us, send us an email. We'd love to talk to you about it and just be a community together as we go through all of this. You can always email us with comments or questions or anything like that at theninjababes@gmail.com. On the bright side, there is a lot of new content coming out on the Ninjababes YouTube channel. You can see those links on Facebook. Of course, we have new episodes every Friday for the Ninjababes podcast. There's some great workouts on there, like the 6-minute oblique challenge. There's also a really awkwardly funny video of me doing workout inside of the trunk of my car. So that's pretty amusing as well. You know, when you can't go to the gym, social distancing, sometimes you just gotta make it work. Also new on the website, we have different free downloadables, and one of them is named Sanity. That is a new downloadable worksheet that is walking you through this experience of how do you stay sane when everything around you feels like it's going crazy. I will continually be posting more on the new downloads tab, so keep in touch with that tab, and definitely keep checking YouTube for more workout videos, mindset videos, and stories there. There's also just some funny Ninjababe videos in general. So if you haven't looked at the YouTube channel yet, definitely check it out. If you appreciate what we're providing through the Ninjababes and want to see more content, more videos, all these things, definitely let us know what you want to see, but also consider donating to our Patreon. There's tiers of how you can donate to support Ninjababes, and the lowest tier starts at just $6 a month. When you support on Patreon, I will send you a thank you that will also include materials every month. So depending on what tier you want to donate and support at, you'll get a larger amount of materials sent to you exclusively every month. This is a way that you could show your support for Ninjababes, but also a way for you to get more out of the Ninjababes community through exclusive content, mindset teachings, and videos that I will not be posting anywhere else. Hear me out. I am in no way trying to tell anyone that they should be paying for services from Ninjababes. I want to be able to keep producing the Ninjababes podcast and sharing the YouTube videos with you that are free for you to watch. They're all online, they're all free. But running Ninjababes does come at a cost. So that's why we wanted to open up this opportunity for people to give back, to donate, and to receive more out of their Ninjababes experience. So to learn more about how you can partner with Ninjababes through Patreon, click or tap in the link in the description below. Thanks, Ninjababes. I love you. I appreciate this community so much, and I am so glad to be a part of it. All right, let's get back to that interview. What is it that you feel like makes you a strong female? Whether it's physically, mentally, what is it about you that gives you like that girl power?
I feel like I have a crazy determination. Once I set my mind to something, like it has to be done, and it's come up a lot in different areas of my life and with Ninja and stuff like that. I decided, last May that I wanted to become a firefighter. And as of last December, I was a firefighter. And then, this year I wanted to be an EMT. I'm becoming an EMT. Like if I set my mind to it, I'm going to get it done. And I think that really helps just create someone who's really strong, and not just, mentally, but physically too, because my determination moves on to workouts and stuff. I'm determined to get these obstacles. I'm determined to be, strong physically and mentally. And that really helps me out a lot.
Definitely. Is there anything else that you would like to say to other girls or to women or anyone who's listening who would, just love to hear your encouragement or your advice about anything?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, listen, to all of the young women out there, I mean, it doesn't even matter what age you are. When you have a goal and you set your mind to it, you got to go after it. There's been some really scary stuff that I've gone through, and something that just keeps me going is that I have these goals in mind, and it doesn't matter what you want to do. If you set your mind to it, you're going to be able to do it. So don't let the fear get in the way. Don't be scared to do something, but, just get out there and get it done, because we are strong women. We're all strong women in one way or another. And we should show that off to the world.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's so easy to just, get stuck in what you feel like you've always done, or find yourself like limiting your own abilities just based on what you grew up thinking or what you haven't tried yet. But like for me, before I tried Ninja, I would have never imagined that I could do the things that I do now. And I think that's true for so many of us. And so it's like, just be willing to get out of your comfort zone and try something new, and realize that we are capable of so much more than we make ourselves out to.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Getting out of your comfort zone. Sometimes we have this mindset where we think, if we fail, that's the end of something. But the thing about failing at something is that we're just taking a second to learn. So, just get back out there. Even if you fail the first time, just get back out there and try it again. I mean, if I quit after the first time I failed an obstacle doing Ninja, I wouldn't be doing Ninja. I mean, we fail time and time again. Every time we go out there, we fail at something. And it really just shows us a better way to do it.
Mm-hmm. And it's awesome, even just hearing, your first time at NNL Worlds. I don't even know where you placed, but it was like far from where you placed this past season, coming in fourth. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, I was really low. I literally fell on the very first obstacle, like 2 steps into the obstacle. And so it was hard to get through that. It was hard to come back to Ninja, but just realizing that it was one competition. Yeah, it's awful that it was at a world level, but it happens to everyone, And so just knowing that, and then the encouragement from my gym family and from my family, and, just saying like, hey, you need to get back out there. And I did, and I came back stronger this year. I trained harder, and honestly, I had a lot more fun this year.
Dude, I love hearing that though, because like everything about what you just said, like I love the fact that you're able to have so much more fun this year and just come back stronger. But even, when you fell in the first obstacle, like being able to pick yourself up, and I'm sure it was hard, and like I'm sure you felt devastated because I've been there for sure. How did you feel after like the past season when you had fallen on the first obstacle? Like, were you embarrassed?
I remember, I remember, getting up on that starting block, and I was so excited, and I had just hoped sort of, you just want to get through that first obstacle because that's like the scariest part of the run, right? It's just getting through that first one. And so I remember being up there, and I jumped on the first block, and I jumped to the second block, and as I went for the third, my foot hit the ground, and I looked up, and Michelle Warnke was referee on that course, and she had to hit the buzzer, and she's like, "I'm sorry." And I remember walking off the course and just feeling like so devastated. And, you think about your family just came all this way to see all of that, and that was all they got to see. And people are live streaming, and that was all they got to see, and, your gym family tries to cheer you up and stuff, but it was a hard feeling, and it's something that I thought about, for days and weeks after. It's not something that you just let go. You think about all the things that you could have done differently. But once you kind of can get past that with the encouragement of your friends and family, like you just got to pick yourself up and keep going, because if you don't, you're going to just think about that for the rest of your life and just go, like, oh, if I could only change that moment. Well, you can't change that moment, but you can come back stronger from that moment. You can keep working towards your goals and, work harder every day after that moment. So that was kind of my thoughts, like on the course and then after the course. It was hard, but it was definitely a growing point for me.
Mm-hmm. And just to clarify, was that in Atlanta or was...
That was in Connecticut.
Okay, so that was in Connecticut.
Yep.
I know the first obstacle was a challenge for a lot of people in Connecticut.
It was.
Yeah. But still, to have fallen there and then this year to have such a crazy difference, like that is such an encouragement, and like I love hearing that.
Yeah, it was a lot of hard work that we put in, but it was definitely, it helped me to, just this year compared to last year, and then knowing that, Ninja's worth it. You have rough runs, but in the end, like your gym family's always there and you're always going to have a good time.
For sure. Where can people find more of you on Instagram or in the world of the internet?
I am on Instagram. My username is Ninjagator _. Short story there. I came up with the name Ninja Gator, and a lot of people mess it up and they say the Gator Ninja, which is not true. But a lot of times people ask me how I came up with that, since I live in Michigan and there's not too many gators here. The reason why I'm called the Ninja Gator is because when I was younger and kind of throughout my childhood and into high school, people used to call me Alligator all the time because most of my friends and stuff call me Allie. And so a lot of people called me Alligator, and that's why it turned into Ninja Gator. So if anybody wanted to know that, that's how that came about. So, but yeah.
I really do love hearing people's Instagram origin stories.
Yeah, they can be confusing sometimes. I didn't think it was ever going to be that confusing, but so many people ask me about it. So for everyone that wanted to know, that's the story behind it.
Alligator, now I know.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else new coming up that you want to share with the world about?
Not really, no. I mean, right now I'm just going to be quarantined, but as soon as I can get back, I'm going to train as much as I can.
That's true.
I don't really have any big plans this summer, but I plan to jump into the NNL season again in the fall and do as much as I can.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the fall season as well, because I'll finally be able to compete again.
Yeah, it's going to be so great.
Can't wait. I'll see you out there for sure on the course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Allison, thank you so much for being on our episode today. I just appreciate all of your encouragement and your wisdom, and I love hearing your story. Again, congratulations making 4th place this year at National Ninja League World Championships.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me on here. It was really awesome. Be strong, be you, be a Ninja babe.